3, and I'm here reviewing, or I guess talking about Fairytail 479. I thought this was a pretty good chapter actually. There's a couple points that were interesting to me, and also one point that kind of got me scared. So, first off, we have this thing about Sarah, and I guess a little bit of me was hoping that maybe something would happen and he'd actually help them, because it's been kind of like, I don't know, we have this thing where Zarek has totally made up his mind. He's got his new fancy clothes, which is pretty interesting. And then where he talks this line where he's all like, I'm going to paint over Natsu existence with the darkest of black. So he's really like completely just, I mean, he's always been evil, but he's just really, there is like nothing left of him. There's no humanity left. He's ready to destroy everybody. So, and he's probably gonna have some success considering there's tons of people that he's going after, tons of people with him. But I'm just kind of wondering how this is going to work out. I mean, how is Fairytail gonna win? Because they always have to win. It's gonna be pretty messy, I think. Anyways, after that, the whole thing about Zarek becoming obviously completely evil, not even a shred of humanity left in his body. We get to this thing about back in Fairytail where they're fighting Jacob, and I thought that the Jacob was actually not that bad of a fight. I know in the last chapter there was really struggling, and then we have the continuation of the fight here. You're gonna see that everybody, including Lucy is actually ducking and getting out of the way. So, but then he like disappears in there. He's pretty good at hand-to-hand. But this one thing that also got my point was like, either well, I'm gonna kill everybody one by one. So it shows that he's not that good of a person either. And it makes you think he's going to do that, but then Liz is like, wait, what about this? She says, your allies are in there, and I think that's really, so she basically, she tells him his allies are in there, and then he gets them out, and then it's kind of funny because she uses Gemini to transforms him into the funny looking guy, and Spake's commandment activates, so she makes like this whole dimension of space disappear, and all the mages come back, which is really clever on her part, I thought. Because we haven't really seen her. Most of the time we see her like, oh, save me, help me, please, I don't want to fight. But actually we see here that she actually has some skills, and she actually has some idea of strategy, and I think that's one reason why I like this chapter, because it has a little bit of that strategy, which is really good. And then Branch is all like, whoa, that was really smart. But so she brings everybody back, and Jacob's like, well, I'm just gonna put everybody back where they were and start and continue with that plan. But then we have Happy in his hands. It's like, I don't know how he got there. I'm wondering if Mavis sent him there, but Happy in his hands, Happy prevents him from completing his attack, which is pretty interesting. And then of course we have Makarov being really angry in this part where he's all like, well, you need to show respect to Mavis because she's older than everybody. I think it's kind of just, well, I'm only in my 20s, but technically her body is still alive. She's actually 124, so she actually is older than pretty much everybody there. Well, I know not to them from 400 years ago, but they're not actually 400 years old. They were born 400 years ago. So she technically is, if you don't want to count now, so she actually is the oldest one there, despite the fact that she's only like 23 or 24 age-wise. But anyhow, we have this part where I think Straight Face Mouth is all like, oh, I was like, don't break the guild, and Makarov's like, well, you're one to talk. Because he does that all the time. Anyhow, we have him like throwing Jacob out of the guild and then throwing Natsu after him, and where Natsu completes his Dragon King mode, which I was kind of curious about because I thought the Dragon King mode was gone once King Neil died. So I'm wondering if Mishima's going to explain this or if this was just a mistake on his part. Because we have Jacob being defeated. And I think actually the fight was actually well paced. I don't really have many complaints about it. I suppose it could have been a little bit longer, but I really don't know how it could have done that. But anyhow, we have the end. And the part that scares me though is this last line. It says, the northern gravestone is the next chapter. So I'm wondering if like the next chapter we're going to see like a bloody pile of corpses, because we do have that person who like seemed to like people from the inside out, which is really crazy. And it's just, I'm kind of scared to see what's going to happen next, and I really don't know how they're going to win without using Mathis, Luminous Story, or Fairy Heart, you know. So especially when Xerath has like 100 million people or whatever, he has his army of millions of people. But I'll see how it happens. So I guess that wasn't really a review. It was more like just just explaining what was happening in the chapter. And I thought it was a well-paced chapter. I like the fact that Xerath is. There's no confusion as of where if Xerath is conflicted or if he's good or bad. I know there was, but he's completely evil. There is not a shred of humanity. So that's kind of sad. That's disappointing to me because I wanted him to have that, but that's just me. So it makes him more of an interesting villain. And then the other part, so about their struggle with Jacob. So Jacob was a little bit harder to defeat than a lot of the other ones. Because he was like, it took like Natsu, Lucy, and Makarov all to defeat him. It didn't just take one person. So, and obviously Lucy and Natsu were getting beat up pretty well beforehand. But so I'm wondering what the next challenge is going to be. I like that Lucy actually has some useful skills, like her whole transforming to gem, and I really did help them in like bringing everybody back. That was like a really good idea, and it was a strategic idea, and it's something that I've been seeing a little bit more of in his chapters, and I hope that he continues on with that, you know, putting little strategies like in here and there. And then of course the final part is the Northern Gravestone. I know it's just the title of the next chapter, but it makes me kind of scared of what's going to happen. And figure out and see how exactly everything is going to be resolved. Maybe Gildarts, yeah, right, will actually show up this time. Who knows? Well, that's about it. Well, what do you think of this chapter? I guess let me know, okay? Bye.